Hey guys! So first of all, I want to apologize for there being no video last week. Things have been kind of busy around here, what with work, and I'm also moving really soon. So soon you'll see a new backdrop and then another new backdrop because, long story, I'm moving again after that. So yeah, things are a little bit hectic around here. I'm really sorry for the lack of video last week. I hope that it won't happen again in the near future and I'll do my best to make sure that it doesn't, but I'm not making any promises, unfortunately. Anyway, on to today's video, which does exist. So today's video, as you can tell by the title, is another disability discourse, and today I want to talk about self-care as a disabled or chronically ill person. Self-care is super important for anyone and everyone, but I think it's even more important when you are someone for whom life is just a bit more difficult, whether that's due to disability, whether that's due to mental health, like whatever that's because of. I think when life can sometimes be more difficult for you, it's even more important to take that extra time and make sure that you're handling everything and just take care of yourself. So while I can't pretend that I'm always great at doing the things that I'm about to talk about, I do try, and I think it's always good to have a reminder from someone else or even from yourself. So I wanted to talk to you about some things that I've found help me with self-care and some just little tips and advice about self-care in general, in the hopes that you will take care of yourself and just be kind to yourself. So let's get into it. When I was initially diagnosed with arthritis, I was sent to a therapist, and this first thing is something that she told me that I've never forgotten and that I think is really important to keep in mind. And that is to set aside some energy or some spoons, or however you like to think of it, for things that you enjoy and things that relax you. It's really, really easy as a disabled person to use all of your energy doing vital things like work or chores or errands and things like that, and feel like you have to spend every last ounce of your energy being productive, quote unquote. And I'm definitely guilty of this a lot. So I think something that's important to remember is that enjoyment and relaxation are productive. It's healthy to spend time doing things that you enjoy and that relax you. Normal people, quote unquote, again, normal people spend time doing relaxing and enjoyable things. Most people don't just spend 100% of their time doing things that need to be done, and it's okay to take some time, and actually healthy and good to take some time to do things that you enjoy. So while yes, it's important to get things done that need to be done, make sure that you're prioritizing those things, and if something can wait and you can spend some time doing something that makes you happy, then make sure that you do that. It's so important. And yeah, just like I said, bear in mind that as vital as chores are and as vital as your work is, your happiness and your well-being are just as vital. So really, it's still productive to be doing whatever it is you enjoy, whether that be reading a book or writing or playing a video game or whatever that is. If you enjoy it, it's still productive. So yeah, set aside some energy to do things that you like and to just have some you time. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. This is super tough and something that I still struggle with to this day, and I think I'll probably always struggle with. It's hard to ask for help and not feel like you're being a burden, but I can guarantee you, anyone who cares about you would so much rather you ask them for help with whatever it is than just struggle alone. Anyone who cares about you would love for you to come to them and ask for help rather than just thinking that they would be bothered or that you can't ask anyone for help. So this, like I was talking about just then, goes for asking people for help, but it also goes for asking for assistive technology and just general assistive things. I think there's a really big stigma against asking for assistive tech if you don't 1000% need it. And I'm not saying to get things that you don't need, but I mean, for example, asking for a wheelchair if you can still technically walk. But if walking hurts you and if walking takes a whole lot of energy, sometimes you might want to use a wheelchair to save some energy for other things or to avoid some pain. And that's totally fine. And the same goes for other smaller assistive technologies. Don't be afraid to ask for things that will help you live your life in an easier and more comfortable way. It's really important, and there shouldn't be a stigma against asking for help in any way at all. So try and practice asking for help. It is so important, whether it's just help to do your groceries or whether it's a sympathetic ear to listen to you vent, whatever help is that you need right then, whatever that means to you, don't be afraid to ask for it. Like I said, anyone who cares about you will be so much happier that you asked them than just sat alone and thought that no one cared about you. The next thing might not be quite as universal, but I think if you're like me, it'll be really helpful, and that is just to send short replies to any people that you have been avoiding replying to, just to kind of say, I'm really sorry, I'm not avoiding contacting you, I'm just having a rough patch and I'm kind of withdrawing from people and I don't have much energy, so sorry about that, and it's not because I don't like you, it's not because I don't care about you, it's just, you know, life. So for me, I find that withdrawing from people is one of my main coping mechanisms when I'm having a bad time. Maybe not the healthiest, I recognize that, but the worst part about that is that I just feel so guilty for not replying to people. I feel really bad, and then it goes into this cycle of I feel bad for not replying, and then I think it's been too long and now I can't reply, and now I can just never talk to that person again, and it makes me feel really terrible as a human being. And to avoid that, you can just send a really brief message. Your friends that care about you, once again, of course they're going to understand that you're having a hard time. Sometimes life happens and you don't get to talk to people, but I think in order to ease your own, for your own peace of mind and also for your friends' peace of mind, just try to get into the habit of sending a super quick message saying that you're having a hard time and that it's nothing to do with them and that you'll be in contact when you can. The next one is give yourself permission to feel your feelings. This sounds kind of corny, but it's something that has really helped me personally, and I think I'm getting kind of good at it, or at least a lot better than I used to be. Basically, you're going to feel a lot of ways about being disabled. You're going to feel like it's really unfair, you're going to feel sad, sometimes you're going to feel happy and grateful for it in weird ways that you maybe didn't expect. And it's important to give yourself permission to feel those things and just let the feelings in. Don't try and say that you're not feeling those things, don't try and force them out. That never works very well. Just recognize the feelings and feel them, and I feel like that really helps to let them go as well. If you let them in and you just feel the feelings and then you can just let them on their way and they're all dealt with, rather than refusing to feel the feelings and denying the feelings, and then you end up with them all bottled up and you just cry at random times because you're in pain. I just think it's really important to recognize that there are a lot of complex emotions that go along with being in pain or being unable to do things that, quote unquote, again, normal people can do. And I think it's really good to be able to feel those feelings in a healthy and not necessarily productive, but not destructive way. So get used to recognizing your own emotions and get used to also just kind of working through those and saying yes, I'm sad and it's okay to be sad, or yes, I feel like life is unfair right now and it's okay to feel that way. Life is unfair and I'm entitled to feel my feelings. I also think that when you recognize the way that you're feeling and you put names to it and put reasons behind it, I'm feeling sad because I'm in a lot of pain today, or I'm feeling sad because I can't do this thing like I used to be able to, I think that helps you stop from misplacing your feelings. So you're saying, I'm feeling sad because I can't do this thing like I used to be able to, instead of misplacing it and saying maybe, oh, I'm angry because my friend is doing this thing that I used to be able to do, which is obviously not the case, right? You're not angry because your friend's having a good time, you're sad because you're not having a good time. So I think it's really important for a lot of reasons. It's very healthy to feel things, of course, and it's also very healthy to be able to recognize what you're feeling and why you might be feeling it. My final tip for self-care is to learn your limits. Now, if you're like me and have a really variable chronic illness, these limits can often change, but I find the easiest way to learn your limits is to not put hard limits on anything, but to learn your body and mind's warning signs that you might be reaching your limits, and then learn to take a break and just give your body and mind a chance to rest and recover. So I think this is really important because it can be very easy, like I said in the first point even, to just keep pushing yourself and try to live life like you did either before you were disabled or life like you see other abled people living life. And that is not healthy. It might feel good for a very short time, but after a while you're going to be burnt out and it's going to just make things so much worse for you. If you can learn your limits and kind of stick to them, you'll be so much happier in the long run, and you'll learn to have a life that is sustainable and happy for you. And that's what's really important. Your life shouldn't look like anyone else's. Your life isn't anyone else's life. Your limits won't be like anyone else's. So you need to find your own balance in life for a life that you enjoy and also that is sustainable for you to stay happy and healthy. Okay guys, so that is it for my tips on disabled and chronically ill self-care. As I say, I'm definitely not perfect and I'm by no means good at all of these things or even any of these things, but I do try. If you have any other self-care thoughts or feelings or any other questions, leave them in the comments below and I will get back to you. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it and I hope you're having a great day. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!